If you are new to this channel, I would want to say welcome in. So, as the host, Miss G, Mama G, whatever you want to call me, or Nurse G. So, I work in acute care nursing, and sometimes I feel a little frustrated when I see new nurses struggling on their first shift. So I decided to put together some mentorship, some coaching to help nurses thrive in acute care. So if you're working in acute care, I would say that welcome to this community. And on this platform, I aim to empower and give back to the nursing profession and help us better take care of our patients on our various units and ward. So exactly what am I talking about? On your fair shift, what do you need to do? So I always say that you need to have adequate rest and nutrition. You cannot take care of somebody when you're already worn out, tired, and doesn't really have insight into what you're doing. So before you go on to shift, make sure you're having adequate rest, have a healthy meal or snack available that you can access during the course of your day if you don't have time to take long breaks. You go to work with your professional attire, so uniform ready, have your gears ready. So if you work in acute care, you are definitely assessing your patients. So I expect that you go in there with a stethoscope, you have a pen light, you have all the tools that will help you to better care for these people. You got this. So you have to have that mindset that it's going to be okay. Don't jinx your shift before you even start the shift. I always advocate that you arrive a bit early, about 10 to 15 minutes to review your patient assignment. So, what I usually used to do was to come early. I get to work very early. I open my, if you're using computers, of course, you have all your patients that you're going to take care of on there. You assign yourself. If you are not using computer, don't stress about this. If it's a CARDIS, you have your CARDIS, you know the patient, you know their ages, you know their goals of care, you know their known allergies, what else? Diet, how they transfer, all those basic things are very important for you as a nurse. You print your list or you write it out if you're using carders, graph gloves, tape, other unit specific supplies like flashlight, flashes, and all the things that you need to be able to take care of your patient. I always say that it's important you gather just enough supplies that you need for your shift. If you need more, or if you're stuck in an isolation room, you can always come back, come out, or even ask somebody to grab you more. Because if you take supplies to the bedside, infection control risks, you don't want to share it among patients. So if it's at a specific patient bedside and they are not going to use it, chances are that it's going to go into the trash. And if it goes into the trash, you're just increasing your units budget, which is not necessary. So just taking out supplies, it also help you because as a nurse, you're supposed to clean up after yourself. So whatever that you use, if you have a computer or working on wheels, we call it wow. When you're done, you're going to clean everything off. So why do you take more than you need so that at the end of your shift you have so much to clean up, right? It's not important. It's not necessary to do that. So gather just enough specific supplies that you need for your patient. When it's time, usually acute care is 12-hour shift, 8-hour shift, 7 to 7, 7 to 3, or whatever time you start, 7:30 or whatever. You receive report, You listen to the outgoing nurse's report. It's very important. You jot down key information. He has a Foley, he has an IV, he's got a PICC line, he has 2 feet. You got to start at this time. I have started, goal rate is at this rate, so optimize it at this time. These are the water flashes. Patients went into AFib last night, so we gave this to bring it down. Just what? Listen carefully, ask questions. You will be able to ask questions if you arrive early and you have scanned through the patient chart and know exactly what to expect. Anything that you need clarification on, clarify it before the outgoing nurse leaves. Pending labs, critical result. I can't emphasize this enough. So when you get to start, you have to do your initial safety checks at the bedside. You go into the room, you're making sure that you have all your basic setups there. Nasal cannula, you have suctioning setup, you have, all the things that you need. If you're using IVs, make sure they are set at the right mode. There are a lot of times that I see new nurses, they're running drips and they are in the critical mode. You know what critical mode is? So with critical mode, anybody can change rates or anything like that. But if you have it locked on the right panel, you're in a medicine unit, make sure you have that one set up. Make sure your IV lines hasn't expired. So this I would defer to your hospital's specific policies. How often do you change continuous lines? How often do you change intermittent lines? 96 hours, 24 hours, whatever it is. So make sure they are there and they are labeled. Very important. If you were interacting with your patient, that is, if you've done your nod, name, occupation, duty, very, very important. It helps establish some kind of it's help establish that confidence and rapport, whatever it is with your client. They need to know exactly who you are and what you are there to do. So always don't forget to do your nod. Mental assessment, your patient pain, how the patient is breathing, all of that are very important and initial. So you're doing a quick scan. If you realize this patient seems pretty confused, you make sure your bed alarm is on because you don't want your patient to fall. You don't want to be in another room. Hey, your patient fell. Causing injury to the patient is one thing. The time it will take you to file for paperwork and all those things, it can easily be mitigated if you have proper setup in. Okay. You want to make sure on your patient's whiteboard at the bedside, you have updated the current date, your name as a nurse, attending physician, if it's important, how your patient mobilizes, how your patient eats. I mean, diet orders. Is it regular diet? Is it mildly thick fluid? Any essential? What is your plan for the patient for that day? You want the patient to be able to go to the bathroom independently by the end of your shift. I mean, like, come together, talk to your patient, update those goals on your whiteboard. It's always important. And it also goes a long way to build some confidence from the patient perspective that their needs are being met, as well as family and all that. I want you to prioritize critical tasks. So in nursing school, they talk to you about ABCs: airway, breathing, circulation. So you have to go with that for urgent priorities. Know that as a registered nurse or as a licensed practical nurse, as whatever they call you at your place, as a nurse, you can always delegate tasks. And you have to take that authority to build a good team dynamics. Things that are not important. Somebody want water, somebody want this. Can you delegate, sorry, instead of you having to do all those things? Medication review, check your MAR for critical times that you need to administer. Excuse me, the some meds probably needs to be taken on empty stomach. All those things. Maybe patient is on lansoprazole, pantoprazole, the patient is on, for instance, if you're giving somebody a steroid, like as strong as like dexamethasone, is the patient on a proton pump inhibitor, something to coat the stomach lining and prevent, any stomach upset upon taking the medication. It's your duty as a nurse, because we work as a team in healthcare. Nobody lives in an island or isolated incident. So you are reviewing, you are checking, we are working as a team. Check your orders and be sure to know exactly what it is that you are administering to the patient. Knowing that put you in a situation where you know what to assess for. You're given a blood pressure pill. How is the blood pressure at that point in time? You will have to give insulin. What is the blood sugar at that point in time? Do you need to notify somebody? Is the patient hypotensive? Okay, if the patient is hypotensive, do you need to hold off a medication? Do you need to reassess it later on during the day? Do you need to inform the charge nurse, the MRP? What do you need to do? You go in there, your patient is on seizure precautions or as documented on the orders, but you move to the bedside and you realize they are not padded. What do you have to do? So have to know your orders. And if something is telling you that orders are off, take time to investigate. Or you get to the bedside. Hey, I have amlodipine for you. It's 10 milligram. Oh, I don't take this med. I'm not aware. Don't insist you are the know all in all and give it to the patient. Take time, investigate. Ma'am, I just checked your chart. I realized you were on it at home and therefore they are continue with it. Or when you came to the hospital, your blood pressure was very high. Therefore, they decided to study on something small to help bring it down. Nurse build rapport, confidence with your patient. So be that instrument between the healthcare providers and your patient, the bridge to help build, that so that they have confidence in the team. Mischief reminders, I want you to document as you go. Very, very critical, very important. Why? I don't want you to end up with salad of assessment, especially people who want to assess 5 patients and later go on there and see this was whatever. I had crackles on this patient during my head to toe assessment. IVs were in work. Maybe you might be good at that, but it will save you a lot of errors and protect your patient from harm. Document as you go the most important assessment and catch up with your charting. I don't know what your state protocols are, but what I have been or what I'm knowledgeable of, at least the 4 hours, you should have entered your initial charting. You should have done all those things. If you're using a system like we use over here, where everybody has access to real time data, if people will see you haven't documented your assessment, you've given pills, it doesn't look good. Refrain from doing that and make sure you're doing what you have to do at the right time. Very important. As a nurse, you need to take care of yourself. Take short breaks, bathroom break, water break, whatever it is. Rejuvenate and be ready to give to your team, support your co-workers at work. It's easy to work in a silo when you go into acute care. but it wouldn't end well for you, because if your patient is crushing you, or somebody who just focus on your patient, that tunnel kind of vision, everybody's just going to look at you whilst you struggle with your patient. It's not a good thing to do. But if you never help people, how do you expect people to jump on your wagon when you are having issues with your patient, even though we're supposed to be collaborating among ourselves? Hey, do you need some help before you sit down to do any unimportant things? But also make sure that you're catching up with your own patient as well. You need to communicate updates, notify physicians of critical changes, keep your charge nurse informed. Don't just hold a med or health. At the end of the day, you just put in there, it doesn't serve any purpose. Maybe it may have to be reviewed, it may have they may have to change the dosage, they may have to stop it at that point in time. So communicate importantly all those critical results to your team so they know exactly what is going on. Now, at the end of your shift, what do you have to do? Make sure your ins and outs are documented. Make sure your Foleys are emptied, or any drain that you have as per your orders. Is it Q1? Is it Q4? Is it Q8? Your assessments are completed. Your medications have been done. You have documented a proper handover result in on the patient's chart, and be ready to give report to the night charge. Or did I say night charge? To the incoming nurse taking over. Be sure to mention critical things that they need to be aware of. Maybe your patient was, very confused. Patient was, sporadic with certain things. The patient, you know, all those little details that goes a long way to enhance patient care. Let's make sure we're doing that. I want to say that you are in the right profession. You need to make impact in somebody's life. I always say that we are lucky we are not the ones in the bed, but we'll have to take care of those people who are in bed. They are at their vulnerable state, the most vulnerable state anybody can be. Put yourself in their shoes, do as you want to be done to you. And you are in the right profession. Welcome to nursing, I would say. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, don't hesitate to drop them in here. I will come back, I'll review it. If there are any resources that I can help provide, I will be happy to help you in your nursing journey. Until next time, I want to say be kind, be good, take care of yourself, and don't forget to give back to the profession, no matter the state or where exactly in the spectrum you are with your nursing career. Until next time, I will see you. It's Mama G, Miss G, Nurse Gladys, signing off from Thrive in Nursing. Together we will thrive. See you next time. It's bye from me.